Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program where everything is up for discussion. Whether you recognize it or not, you got me, Jeff, and alongside the now platinum blonde and lovely Shannon. What's going on, kid?
I am no longer Shannon tonight.
You're not Shannon. What are you going? What shall we call you this evening?
I'm that weird chick from the Sia music videos.
What's her name? What's the weird chick's name?
It's the little kid that dances around naked
in
a bodysuit.
The little 12-year-old. Cute. Well, as you can tell, this is the Halloween edition of Up for Discussion. We're glad you can join us. And I'm not sure what the hell I'm supposed to be, but I'm just going to roll with it. That's all. What do you think?
You look like someone sci-fi invited to be part of a guest episode during Halloween, and I want to guess somebody who used to play guitar for Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, maybe Slash that didn't make it.
Maybe has been Slash part of a Halloween episode, because God knows Meatloaf starred in a couple of those, so nothing would surprise me.
Well, this is my pathetic attempt at a Halloween costume, so that's what it is.
At least you tried.
Speaking of which, it's been a pretty cool week for you. You had a little private investigation at the Fitchburg Art Museum, first time ever?
I did. I was the first ever to do a ghost hunt at the Fitchburg Art Museum.
Tell us about it.
Probably the first and the last. They called me randomly asking if I would do this for them, and I still have to review the audio, but we met up with a fabulous family from Louisiana. Cool. On Sunday night. The head of the family, his name is Graham, lovely man, and they flew out all the way from Louisiana to be part of this evening for a couple of hours with us, and they were so awesome. The man and his wife, and she had her cliche Salem sweatshirt on.
Oh yeah, of course. They all do. All the
daughter, their young daughter was married. She brought her her husband Cody. Mm-hmm. And we just showed them the ins and outs of ghost hunting. I guess they were pretty much seasoned ghost hunters themselves after I learned. They've been all over the country to some haunted locations doing some ghost hunting. But, we sat in the dark and did our thing. And then they went home. They flew out of Logan the next morning.
Really?
So if I had a hip dad like that, man, it'd be so cool. But I am dying to go over the audio, all the hours of audio, just to see if we've got anything, so I could go back to the art museum and tell them that we may have caught the infamous tall, top-hatted, long-jacketed spirit that people have seen there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Definitely dated. He seems to be wearing a long, dark coat with a top hat, so okay. I'm thinking 1800s to early 19 at the most.
Okay.
But we'd love to know who he is. So we asked plenty of questions, whether or not they were stupid. You just ask questions, and we had a good time. I mean, did you enjoy yourself? You were documenting the whole thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure. It brought back some memories. It's something we haven't done in a long time, and pretty cool stuff in the basement. We found those old headstones, and I don't know if we're supposed to talk about that, but we found some creepy stuff in the basement.
Headstones from 1746.
Yeah.
I think we can talk about it.
Okay.
They were beautiful. They're the old, I forget the name for it, but slate headstones with the skeleton, the skull on the top with the angel wings behind it. And they used to be part of an exhibit. Your dad didn't know quite why, so I had drilled him over there at the museum about it. But
so I'm not used to having hair. This is weird, man. I'm not used to having any hair at all.
Just don't play with it. You don't need to. You'll get used to it in like 1 second. It's like wearing false eyelashes for a chick.
Think so?
The horde, but then you forget about them.
I don't know. It's tough to do anything with this.
Pretty ugly with that wig on.
Well, it's certainly not what I'm used to.
Well, quit messing with it, because you're going to get it all fuzzy, and then I can't bring it back. Seriously.
What do you mean bring it back?
The curls need to stay there. The more you try to comb the damn thing out, it's going to look like a giant mashed potato on your head. I'm going to get pissed.
I'm just trying to see. I mean, Christ.
Then just...
There we go.
Here we go get your barrette, Jeff, or a little scrunchie. Would you like me to help you out with that?
It's all right.
Rocket science over there.
Oh, it is. What the hell?
Should have got you a big red wig. You look like Napoleon Dynamite.
That's the thing. I'm so not used to it.
Well, why don't we show you some high school pictures? We'll show the viewers some pictures. He's used to hair. Don't let him fool you.
I had hair.
See, Kuzo said Jeff Stern. I was saying the whole thing tonight, like you look like Howard Stern, and someone just figured that out. So
is that what it is? It's really, huh? So we're gonna go with Jeff Stern tonight. Yeah, that's what I am. I am Jeff Stern. That got kicked off Ghost Hunters International.
Boy, I wish he had Jeff Stern's money.
Yeah, I know. $5 billion contract. If I could just be a douchebag the whole time and call everybody an a-hole, I'd be Howard Stern all over again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Beth's a lucky woman, man.
Sure,
But,
sure.
Then, it's kind of like playing those video games like The Sims when you find a cheat and you can give yourself unlimited amounts of simoleons, and it's just not fun anymore.
No.
Because I can buy anything I want, and I know how to do it now, and that gets old after a while. I think rich people must get tired of it. Honest to God, because they can have whatever they want, and there's just no limit to it.
But wait a second. For years, I have seen you just wallowing in the fact that you are the whole controller of the universe. I see your smile, your grin from ear to ear, and this is the first I've heard that this might even be a problem for you.
What do you mean, my grin from ear to ear?
You look at that game as yes, I control the city. I control the
love
traffic.
playing
I control
it.
the money. It's mine. Well,
I love being the master of my own domain. I mean, that's why Shancakes exist. It's nice to have control over things, but I don't like cheating.
No, okay.
'Cause then it takes the fun out of earning it, I guess.
Okay. All right.
So, I don't know. I'm trying to be honest with you.
All right, that's cool. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We want to welcome everybody that watches here on your television sets locally on Leominster TV, on Comcast and Verizon. Check your local listings. And also streaming worldwide online and upfordiscussionlive.com and myptvonline.com. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, this is the Halloween edition. We're going to make you guys part of this as we always do in the chat room, and also by calling in tonight at 323-902-6661. We've got a lot to get to tonight, Shannon, including what everybody's talking about around the news, as well as you, of course, with the Who Does That, as only you can. And I missed you Who Does That the week that we don't do it. It's kind of like I get withdrawals from that.
Who Does It shakes?
I do. I get the Who Does It shakes, and I don't have my fix for it, so I'm glad you're back, kid. Glad you're back, So, what?
I'm just laughing.
What are you laughing at?
I haven't been gone that long.
All right. Well, listen, guys, we have a lot to get to tonight, and what we want to do first is thank everybody that is now part of this show as far as sponsors, and we do have a brand new sponsor that we want to say hello to. Vincenzo Ricci, all the way from Italy, is now a supporter and sponsor of the show, and you can find out more about what he does is bengineering.it. And really, really cool designer stuff for very high-end automobiles, cool jackets, cool T-shirts. And I tried to wear the T-shirt, I tried to wear the jacket, but they both have green in it. So I'll have to cut a separate promo for that because we definitely want to show the duds. I'll put the pictures up on Facebook. Everybody loved the jacket already, but
nice
very
coat,
cool.
yeah,
very cool.
Damn.
And again, very high-end stuff as far as automobiles and designer wear, and definitely want to say a big thank you all the way out there in Italy for watching us and supporting what we do. And, of course, one of our longest term sponsors from way, way back, Leominster Storage Solutions. We want to thank them very much for supporting us on the show here. And to find out more, you can call them at 466-8887, or you can find out more online by visiting them at lemonsterstorage.solutions.com. So, all right, Shan. Well, a lot of times this time of year, we want to give a little public service announcement first of all because it is Halloween and the kids are out. So first of all, we want to remind all you guys to just drive slow around Halloween. On Saturday, drive a little slower, keep your eyes open. Lots of families out there. Make sure we're being cautious and you were telling stories last night about razor blades and apples and all this other crazy stuff. Just be careful with the kids again. If you don't know the source and it looks a little funky, don't be afraid to tear open and check it out. Right, Jan? Yeah,
and if you feel something underneath your tire like I did last night when I rode over the groceries, it might be a child. So that's probably a sign you need to slow down.
That is bad. That is bad. You've worked way too hard and you have way too much on your mind when you hear the thump, 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 and you realize that was the bag of dinner groceries that we were.
Oh my God! I thought it was one of the cats that keep perusing my parking lot.
At least you didn't hear anything. That's
the first thing that entered my head was that I ran over one of those stray cats. Isn't that awful?
That's terrible.
And then you know what? I didn't even look behind me because I'm like, I just need to get home.
You just kept going. Whether it was a dead cat or not, you could have cared less at that point.
And then halfway home, I called my employee to see what was left behind in the parking lot, and she's laughing as there's fish fillets smeared across the parking lot.
You are going to burn in hell.
What was so bad that you couldn't bring my macaroni and cheese home, though? Was that really like a hot mess?
Well, yeah, it kind of exploded out of the package, and it was in little bitty noodles all over the parking lot. So I wasn't gonna put said noodles back in the paper part of the bag to put back in the regular box to bring them home. Not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah, screw the haddock. It was the macaroni and cheese boxes for 39 cents a piece. I'm pissed off about.
That's all good. You got
so anyway,
watch
watch for the kitties and the costumes, and don't be me.
Yeah, don't be you. You got spoiled last night, though. You got taken out, little dinner. You know, we had some fish. You had fish anyway, right?
I did.
All right. So what made you get into this costume? Of all the costumes out there in the world, I know you're like infatuated with the chick and the dance and
I'm
all
not
that stuff.
infatuated with Sia.
What's the deal with the costume?
I don't know. It's just funny because I just figured it was unique. Nobody else in the world's going to be Sia, right? I've had this costume for, I don't know, 5 months now.
Okay.
And so I'm watching Good Morning America, and they had this adult edition of best costumes for 2015. Hey,
so
guess what was one of them?
So it was one of the
top
popular.
five
One of the popular
was
costumes.
friggin' Sia.
Okay. All right.
The blonde wig. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Like, half the planet hasn't even heard about this lady. I thought I'd be the first one. And they're bringing out this chick dressed up in a Sia wig.
So what video is she in?
All of them. Maddie Ziegler is the young dancer who's in the Sia videos. You might remember the video I showed you with her and Shia LaBeouf.
Sure.
And for the Chandelier video. And at the Music Awards this year, earlier in the year, Sia sang a beautiful performance of the Chandelier song live, including Kristen Wiig from Saturday Night Live, who was dressed in this wig, in this bodysuit. And she did the dance with little Maggie Ziegler, who's in all the music videos, dressed up as I am. So it's kind of an artistic view on a Halloween costume, and very inexpensive, but quite chilly, let me tell you.
Now, doesn't Howard Stern have glasses or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I got my glasses
I
on.
can't tell because your hair's still in the
Glasses.
face.
There we go. Now I look like now I can get my Howard Stern glasses going. How's
Oh
that?
my God, you're so weird.
Nobody's gonna recognize me anyway. What the hell, right?
Yeah, no one's going to recognize you.
No, nobody's gonna recognize me because I have hair. Well, this time of year, guys, also brings families in need around the holidays. Maybe not all of us are as fortunate as the next, and we definitely want to give a shout out to those who are stepping up in their individual communities to help families in need. And one of those is on the line with us right now. He represents Mustard Seed, and we'd like to say hello to Keith. Keith, so much for calling us. Thanks so much for joining us, buddy.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you're doing. It came to me on Facebook, and it was something that you guys can also find out about on Facebook by looking at Mustard Seed. And this is a really good cause. And tell us a little bit about it and how you get started with it.
Well, it actually got started at the dinner table. My wife and I were having dinner and just looking around our house, and we, she came up with the idea. She said, we've been so blessed this year. Within the past year, we got married, we bought a house, and we've just been so blessed. Why don't we, try to give back, do something for those less fortunate? And so the ball kind of got started that way. Our original plan was to deliver hot meals, and we ran into a little bit of red tape with that. So we kind of shifted gears and went to baskets. And so we kind of, came up with a flyer and started a Facebook page, and just kind of got the ball rolling, and the response has been overwhelming. We've got the mayor on board. City Hall has a donation basket there. You can drop off canned goods or turkeys or whatever Thanksgiving meal things that they can bring. So it kind of got started that way, and it's really just kind of just taken off. And so I figured I'd reach out to you, and see if you could get us a little exposure and maybe a little help. That's basically what we're looking for. We're looking for the community to kind of pitch in and help out those that are a little less fortunate. Everybody goes through tough times here and there, so we figured, what better way than at Thanksgiving, just kind of help people have a nice Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's cool around here because there's a lot of, especially, starting with the mayor and people around here that help. If everybody just chips in a little bit, a lot gets done. And you got some people that are chipping in, part of the meal, and some people will chip in another part of the meal. And our little Shane Cakes over here is going to chip in dessert for folks, which is awesome. So, it's like you get it organized, you reach out to a bunch of people, and everybody chips in a little bit. And next thing you know, you're feeding a bunch of families that really couldn't have a Thanksgiving without guys like you and help from those around in the community. So kudos to what you're doing. And again, they can find out more by going to your email address, which is FromAMustardSeed@gmail.com. And you can also make donations right down there at City Hall, Keith. Is that correct?
That's correct, and we'll also be at the farmers markets on Sundays from 10 to 2. Those are at City Hall. So, and the whole idea here is, it's not about me and my wife Robin. It's about people helping people, and that's the whole goal here. So if you can help out a little, great. If you can help out a lot, great. We need food donations. We need delivery people. A lot of the logistics or whatever. So anything anybody can help out with. I've got donations coming from co-workers, from friends. It's just been overwhelming.
That's awesome. And again, Thanksgiving's coming up. You're going to be organizing everything around the 20th of the month. So you want to keep things very fresh, right?
Yeah. So basically, what we want to do is try to get the baskets put together by the 20th or the 21st, right in that area, and make the deliveries on the 22nd. That way, if the turkeys are frozen, there's time to thaw them out and whatever. And we've got probably, right now, we've probably got about 6 families that have reached out to us, and we've also reached out to the Spanish American Club, and they could use some help as well. So we're looking at probably, somewhere in the 10 to 15 basket range. So, we're going to need a little help. That's where we're at.
Well, we will get you as much help as we possibly can. And again, we definitely encourage everyone to stop by City Hall and donate what you can to this great cause. And the cause is headed up by Mustard Seed. You can find out more about them, of course, on Facebook, or send them an email at FromAMustardSeed.com. Keith, thank you so much for what you're doing. It means a lot to the community, and it really says a lot about you guys for stepping up and helping families that could use it this holiday season.
Job.
Thank you.
Jeff and Shannon, thank you very much. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Take care. All right, guys, that's awesome. We're going to step out, and when we come back, Shannon is going to be bringing you the Who Does That right here on this network, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Up for discussion with Jeff and Shannon Sylvia. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Up for Discussion Live is brought to you in part by Lemonster Storage Solutions, Sasquatch Coffee, Mariano's Restaurante.
And now back to Up for Discussion right here on Pararock TV.
Oh yeah, when you hear that music, it can only mean one thing. It's that segment of the program when Shannon Sylvia asks, who does that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon Sylvia.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to the best part of the entire show, of the entire evening, and the best part of your life so far today.
Best part of your life.
The Who Does That portion of the show brought to you by the amazing Shannon Sylvia, who is not present this evening. I am the weird chick from the Sia videos on her behalf. The first story comes out of Charleston, South Carolina.
Now, before you start this, I will tell you that some things are just like too funny, like too crazy to be like made up, and this is
Yeah.
absolutely real. It's absolutely true, and it
As
comes
always.
to us from our friend Mike in South Carolina, who dug up this story, and I did
Really?
verify this. This is a real story on Channel 2, NBC Channel 2 News down there. So, if you can
Okay,
believe it.
well, let's go forward here. South Carolina teenager is in the hospital after a woman bit his tongue off during a sexual assault.
This gets so good. This
30
gets so good.
The 33-year-old woman told North Charleston police that she heard a knock at her door around 6:30 a.m. last Friday. She opened the door, but no one was there, so she went back to bed.
Okay.
She told police she answered the door 2 more times after hearing another knock and then a ring. At that point, she saw a young man at her door holding a knife. A woman tried to run back inside. The suspect forced his way in and overpowered her. According to police, the suspect punched her several times and tackled her. She fought back by kicking him in the groin as he tried to take her shorts off. Suspect then told her, "Now you have to die," and allegedly forced his tongue into her mouth. Sounds like a bad, scary movie.
Yeah, it does.
Like, and then they come in and suck your soul.
Got to die.
If that's how he's intending on killing her, that's when the victim bit down as hard as she could until she heard it snap. Snap. The victim said she had the suspect's tongue in her mouth and threw it on her kitchen floor.
Yes.
Now, wait a minute.
That is one
This happened in her bed.
badass chick.
Hold on. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I didn't say that this happened in her bedroom. I was going to say, like, how the hell did she end up in the kitchen? So she left her home to call police from a nearby business while the suspect remained in her doorway. Police say the victim had bruising and swelling around her right eye and scratches on her legs. Suspect's mother called 911 to report her son not having a tongue and needing medical assistance.
Could you just repeat that part one more time?
Excuse me, 911. My son is missing a tongue and he needs medical assistance.
Hang on a second. I think.
Calling 911 because you don't like the way that they're making your sandwich?
Exactly.
You're calling 911 because your son no longer has a tongue?
You know, I know
Exactly.
people that won't eat food that had a tongue. Never mind, like, having one in my mouth. I mean, the only tongue I'll have in my mouth is yours, Jeff.
What's the matter? Victim have your tongue?
Got your tongue? So the police identified the suspect, brought him to the hospital, and located his tongue, which was placed on ice. That just reminded me of that movie,
Did they pickle it?
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, that's right. When it's stuck to the pole.
Try to peel the ice cubes off the tongue so they can put it back on him. They also found a knife in the victim's yard, similar to the one that the victim described from the attack.
Okay. Jesus. Wow.
Who does that?
Wow.
Who made out in this story? I mean, I really think it was the girl.
Well,
What a dumbass. I mean, if you're going to have a knife, you might as well use it before you shove your tongue down the girl's throat. I mean, come on. You wanted to, like, last minute make out with her before you slice her out? That's the price you pay there, dumbass.
did he think that he was actually going to kill this girl by asphyxiation with his tongue? I mean, what exactly was he thinking? He delivers the warning, you're going to die. And then the next thing he does is stick his tongue down her throat
Well,
and she bites it.
Hip in the chat says that they're saying that he has mental issues, but now he's probably got some
He's
speech
got more than mental
impediments
issues, yeah,
to
he's-
add to that list. I'm sorry. It's not a funny story. I mean, we're laughing, but it's just kind of sad.
Oh, it's
I just-
hilarious.
Who
I just
does
did
that?
the right thing.
What
I
kind
mean,
of
I really.
dumbass sticks their tongue down somebody's
I
throat
could,
like that?
if I did this, I would never be able to get that sound out of my head, that snap from the tongue. I don't even want to know what that sounded like.
How do you compare that to like crab legs? Do you think that's kind of like crab legs? Maybe,
Snapping
or-
the crab leg?
Yeah,
No,
maybe.
no.
Maybe
I
it's
think
just
it sounds like what happened to my ankle when I fell down a flight of stairs, and it
more
wasn't
like
a nice
tendon,
snap.
maybe?
Yeah, that was a tendon snapping. That's a thought I'll never get out of my head, and I have a feeling that this might be worse. Stop touching my wig.
No, it's my wig.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I'm good. Just trying to see. I got my Howard Stern
Bump Hook is in the
glasses
chat
on.
room saying, "Jeff, I'm here. I'm here." So I'm
Who's
not really.
here?
I don't know who Bump Hook is. I really don't.
You know what? Maybe that is our buddy Vincenzo, all the way.
Oh,
out
from Italy?
If it is, we want to say hi to Vincenzo and definitely remind people about his company. And if he's just
Well,
joining
we already
us,
did.
we did
But
say
what
hello
if that
to you.
isn't Vincenzo?
Well, yeah, I think it is. I think it is. You want to take over the show?
Vincenzo, where the hell is my jacket and T-shirt? Excuse me, I'm the owner here. I don't know what kind of deal you struck up with him, but you forgot me. I'll send you my sizes.
I know
I'm a
people in
6.
high places. That's all.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Anywho, so let's
All
get
right,
to
we
the
get
second
Josh
story.
all the way from Kentucky. It's not our friend from that. There we go. All right.
Oh, so it wasn't Vincenzo. So now I still don't have my jackets and clothing coming.
No, we'll work on it though. We'll work on it.
All right. Second story comes out of Litchfield, New Hampshire. The bridesmaids wore black, and the flower girls showed up in a skeleton costume at a wedding held at a haunted theme park in New Hampshire. If I only had my way.
Spooky world.
Melissa Cody, who I actually happen to know, but it can't be the same one, and Tom Cowan, who both work at Spooky World Nightmare in New England, in Litchfield, New Hampshire, tied the knot on Monday night in front of the attraction's haunted house. Cody wore a traditional wedding gown with a black sash, but her dad dressed as Beetlejuice. I think that's wicked cool.
That is wicked cool.
The spirit, who was played by Michael Keaton in the 1988 movie.
Yes.
Of the same name. Cowan, dressed in black with a top hat, was the first horror actor hired at the attraction 8 years ago. During the ceremony, the justice of the peace encouraged them to hunt and howl at the moon together as long as you shall live, and to have and to hold from this night on in madness and hunting fun.
Aw, how cute is that?
My father would be so pissed at me if that was
cute is
me.
that?
The couple told WMUR TV that Cowan first scared Cody when she went through the hunt. How sweet. Probably Peter Pants. A few months later, they met under normal circumstances. She's like, "You work there? Some guy scared me," Cowan said. And I just started laughing. I said, "Yeah, I was the guy." And then happily ever after.
Nice.
Who does that?
Oh, so romantic.
Okay. True story. When we were in Kentucky, remember when we did the celebrity
Yes.
haunted house thing?
Yes.
I actually made a woman pee her pants.
I
And she
remember.
admitted it. You were a witness to it.
She was an older woman, too.
Yeah.
We're not talking a 14-year-old
And
here.
she peed. She peed her pants because I jumped out. I was in a straitjacket and I freaked her out. That was
Yeah.
great. It was fantastic. I loved just the fact that I could have that effect on somebody. I made them so scared.
So
that
there's
they
a moral
actually
to
peed
this
their
story,
pants.
folks. Don't go through haunted houses with a full bladder. Okay?
there we
So,
go.
anywho, use the outhouse, as gross it is.
All right.
Last story comes out of North Webster, Indiana. Authorities say a northern Indiana woman is recovering after being shot in the foot by her dog.
We love dogs. Why would we put a dog like speculatory like?
Do you know
why
what's the
would put him into
awesomest about this
speculation?
story? Guess what the dog's name is?
I know what the dog's name is.
The dog's name is Trigger.
Trigger. Folks, we don't make this stuff up. We really don't. We don't make this stuff up.
The Indiana
We don't.
Conservation Officer Jonathan Boyd says the 25-year-old Allie Carter of Avia laid her 12-gauge shotgun on the ground without the safety on during a waterfowl hunt on Saturday in the Tri-County Fish and Wildlife area. Boyd says Carter's chocolate Labrador Retriever, Trigger, stepped on the top of the shotgun, depressed the trigger. Pow! Carter was shot in the left foot at point-blank range.
That's
How's
fantastic.
that?
Oh my God.
Suffering injuries to her foot and toes. She's been treated at 2 hospitals, has been released, probably because there's nothing left. And Tri-County Fish and Wildlife area is about 140 miles north of Indianapolis, in case you're wondering. And somebody in the chat actually knows exactly where that town
That's
is.
right.
Who does that?
That's a very unfortunate incident. Poor Trigger. I mean,
Can
look
you
at that
imagine?
face.
We love dogs here on the show. We are huge preponderance of animals. We love our animals. You know what? That is going to be the funniest thing, to be shot by a dog named Trigger. I was shot by my own dog.
Well, the dog's name could have been Bullet. That would have
Yeah, it could
been
have
just as funny.
Yeah, could have been Death
Trigger.
Punch.
So I take it these people like to hunt. That's just sad.
How do you like pick up from that? How do you go on from that? You know, that has got to be
My
like
dog
the
shot
dumbass,
me. How embarrassing.
the absolute dumbass of the year award. Yeah. How did your
been
foot?
shot
Why,
by my
why are you
dog.
limping? Well, I was shot by my dog.
Only I would be asking that question just so that she could come back and say that
Oh my God.
she was shot by her dog. It's just sad. It's sad across the board.
It is.
So 3 stories for you brought by Shannon Sylvia for the Who Does That segment. Of
All right, guys. We want to encourage you guys to call in at 323-902-6661. We have a lot to get to, including today's and this week's top stories. It is the Halloween special here on Up for Discussion Live. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
I ay, 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 ay. I am the frito bandido. I like Fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you.
Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Sure.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Mamma mia, that's some species. Cut spicy meatballs, Jack. Sorry. Take 28. Out, Tony, and action. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. What was the matter with that? The accent. Huh. Cut. Cut. Missy, micey, ballsy, ballsy.
Take 59.
And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma Mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer?
Sooner or later, you're going to try a white owl. And when you do, we gotcha.
I love football, and I love relaxing. Because for me, relaxing always includes Skoal, the smokeless tobacco. Just a pinch between my cheek and gum gives me great tobacco taste without lighting up. Got the sea, the breeze, got my Skoal. Nothing's gonna make me move. Think I'll play some touch. Skoal, brother.
Bert, what do you say to Martini and Rossi?
Yes. Yes. To Martini and Rossi on the runners. Say yes.
Hey everyone, this is Scott Rockenfield from Queensrÿche, and you're watching Terror Rock TV.
Welcome back to the program where everything's up for discussion. I am out of my costume. I can't take it anymore.
I don't recognize you.
You don't recognize me anymore. I am no longer the person I was, and I think we're going to give away. A couple of prizes tonight. And maybe Shannon can come up with a couple of questions. But as we go in here, I want to just grab a quick call here. You're on with Jeff and Shannon. What do you got? Hello.
Hey, Jeff, Jerry Caruso. How are you, brother?
Hey, Jerry Caruso. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. And we do have a surprise for you guys tonight. A local comedian here to us, Mr. Jerry Caruso, is joining us on the phone. Super talented guy, and we're very, very pleased to have you. Jerry, what's going on, buddy?
I owe you $20 for that compliment.
I know. Well, checks in the mail, like we always talk about. You are
What's
a busy
going
guy.
on? The usual. Getting ready for Halloween, spending all kinds of money, dreaming up recipes for stuff we'll never eat, that the whole family's going to eat. Just like stuff like that. But just crazy busy, coming off of all these comedy benefits, and got so many things going on. It's just insane. But that's okay. That's how I like it.
That is so cool, and that was what I like to say about you and our other buddy Dennis Worth, who also does a ton of stuff around here for charity. And 'tis the season, as they say. There's a lot of needy families out there, and what you guys do is absolutely tremendous. Do you have anything coming up here in the season you want to talk about?
The one thing, there's a lot of pending things that I'm waiting to talk to people on, like Feeding Fitchburg is almost like a food bank and run by Rosa D'Souza, and we're planning a benefit. We hope to get it before the holidays, but it could be after. There's one for that for the family that lost a house, bad fire in Fitchburg. We're working on that. Me and Tracy. I can't think of her last name. I have to think of it offhand. But I just come off of doing a whole bunch of different ones. I did one for a church in Petersham. We just did something for Chad LaBeouf, that guy who lost his life tragically. That was a sad one. We just did that at Dessert Barn. We did really well, and I'm glad that everybody really appreciated it. We did one for the dog park in Fitchburg. God, it goes on and on. I'm doing a special show in November 4th, at the Hope Lodge in Worcester for cancer patients. I am honored to do that, and that's going to be like those people are my heroes, and to make them laugh and make them forget about what they're going through is that's a gift from God. I swear it, and
absolutely is, and to get out and see Jerry and all of the comedy that he brings and everybody he surrounds himself with, it's short dough. These things don't cost a lot of money. It's a good time. You can grab your girl, you can grab some dinner, and you can go see a great comedy show here locally. And the prices, what do they run? They're usually pretty reasonable.
Somewhere between 10 and 20. Like I know I'm doing
everybody
one
can afford that.
At the Knights, like near LA TV, we're doing one for St. Anna's Church to benefit the parochial school that they have there, which is a wonderful cause. And Dean Mazzarella said, "Oh, that's great, Jerry. I gotta be there." I go, "You better be there." So
awesome.
We'll be doing that too. That's the 13th of November, and I can't wait because I'm working with Carrie Pamarini. She's a close friend of ours. We had her babysit our kids, for God's sake, and now she's got her own kids in the school, and they're looking forward to that. I'm headlining that event, and that should be a lot of fun. And again, I think they keep the prices reasonable, either 15 or 20, but they'll see two of us perform, and they'll have all kinds of. They gather on raffles by the gazillions. It's like, oh my God, that's half the draw. Because I always say the drunker they are, the funnier I am. But that's beside the point. But but the easy part about it is that they go out and they pay a fee. They see good comedy. They have all these raffles. They get to congregate with their friends. Like we time it right so that people can enjoy themselves. And then I got a cancer survivor Christmas party, one of my first ones I'll be doing. It's down in Brockton, but a woman saw me do the Relay for Life. She goes, "Can you please name our cancer survivors?" I go, "With pleasure." So it's like, again, this is what it's all about. You can make people laugh and forget about their troubles. So for a while, that's a good thing. If you make them laugh and puts a big smile on their face, hey, for what they go through, it's just like a gift, and I'm very appreciative to have these opportunities. And now I'm going to be working with some veterans groups too, so I got a boatload of stuff going on, like pending, but I know that they're going to happen.
Very cool. And plus, you're a pretty funny guy too, and you and Shannon have something in common. You have both survived the Dennis Worth Comedy Kitchen. As a matter of fact, Shannon,
we did.
What you may not know, Shannon, is that Jerry was actually roasted on the Comedy Kitchen. He sat in the big easy chair, and he was roasted for a solid
Shannon, that was a
hour. Yeah.
I'm so glad that was you, Jerry, and not me.
But I had fun because I fired back. See?
Yeah.
That's the nice part about it, Shannon. I had all my material stuck in my head.
See,
and I made a lot of enemies out of my friends. So. They tried to do the same thing. I go, "Go ahead, say whatever you want to." They go, "No, all right, we will."
What did you guys?
It was a lot of fun.
What did you guys have the honor of cooking that day?
Not that day, but Dennis had me on one of his very first shows, and what do you think he made? Because I'm Italian, pizza, of course.
Yeah. I know where this is going. I know because I've been Dennis's producer for quite a while now, and I see him do the orange chicken. I see him do the Mongolian beef. I see him do all these great recipes. And I put it in my rider that I got to get a little bite of everything. So he's cooking away, and I'm telling Shannon how great this is. You got to come down and bring your appetite because you're going to be full. He's going to cook up a whole plate of food. Shannon, tell them what Dennis cooked for you.
We got stuck doing candy apples that didn't quite make it that well.
She got a freaking apple.
Thanks a lot.
It was basically an apple.
She was so pissed that and he was trying to make a superhero apple, so he handed her little pieces of marshmallow to make for the eyes. Well, she's pounding the marshmallow just so she can get something to eat.
I mean, honest to God, you can't make a candy apple in 20 minutes, okay? You got to let the stuff boil and cool down. There's a process.
Yeah, we all know that.
So I was just continuously waiting for him to pull out the magic tray of finished candy apples from behind the table, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't do that." So,
oh my God.
Yeah, so we were just dipping apples in some hot syrup that wouldn't stick to them, so they look just like apples.
Yeah, they did. And it's funny because, the green apples disappeared against the green screen, and then you had the green cup. So
Couldn't see the apples. Priceless.
You have virtual apples.
Virtual.
No, I want to go next time he's making Chinese food or lasagna or fettuccine alfredo. He's got some making up to do.
I know. He owes you.
Friggin' apples.
No, have him take you out.
That's what it is.
Nothing with apples in it.
There's something about the fruit. He shows up on my doorstep with a friggin' banana, and now he's telling me to eat apples on local cable TV. Somebody's trying to send me a hint somewhere.
Well, what we got to do is we got to head down there and we got to get one of those egg rolls, those steak and cheese egg rolls.
Yeah,
That's what we got to do. Change your life.
I've definitely heard of those, and I heard they're good for you too.
They are. They are good
so
for you.
good.
They're low cal, no cholesterol.
Yeah.
And they change your life.
They're like little cigars of death when you bite into them.
Screams cholesterol.
Greasy death.
Yeah, they're amazing. But
and Jerry's been to Shancakes, right? You've had.
She knows. Yeah, we had. She was the hit of my daughter's baby shower.
Now, is that now?
They really should have been your daughter, though.
Jerry, 2 words that I use to describe Shancakes, and tell me how accurate I am. Confectionery crack. Is that not pretty good?
You guys are
I was walking the streets of Leominster asking people for like $5 to go buy a cupcake. Go buy some beer.
The cupcakes aren't $5. You can buy a few for that.
You can get 2.
I'm kidding.
That's on the other side of town, Jerry.
No, I will highly tout your cupcakes. They were
Thank you. Very kind. You guys were very nice to me that day. I didn't realize how you all knew each other until I had spoken to Jeff.
Awesome. Very funny guy, Jerry Caruso, here in Leominster and also touring all over New England. Make sure you check him out if you can. Doing a lot of great stuff for charity. And Jerry, I can't thank you enough for what you do, man. I love watching you when you're out there, and what you're doing is just, it's unmeasurable. You're helping others and you're bringing smiles to people's faces.
Love it. I wouldn't do it, and you don't want to make it like a job, but if you're helping people, that's so cool. And you're making them laugh, that's even better. So it's like, people claim I'm funny, so I'll go with their claim.
There you go.
It's the best medicine.
Keep rolling with it.
Nice talking with both of you.
Jerry,
all right.
Thank you so much. Pop on in again.
I will, I promise.
Thank you.
All right. Jerry Caruso, ladies and gentlemen, local comedian here in the Leominster area, and glad to have him on. He does a lot of stuff, just like Dennis Worth. Two really stand-up guys, Shannon. You got to hand it to those guys that really step up for charity like that. I think that's so cool.
Anybody that does, I hand it to them. So Good job, guys. Keep up the good work.
Very good. All right, everybody this week and everybody specifically today is talking about what's new in the news. And, of course, we're talking about the fiasco that's going on as the school arrest in South Carolina at Spring Valley High School. Numerous videos show a South Carolina school resource officer standing over a student seated at her desk, and you guys can see the video playing behind me. We are going to play the video full screen in just a little bit here with the audio involved in it. What you're going to hear is the officer. He's the only one you're going to hear in the video. He puts his arm around the neck of the young lady, then yanks her backwards. The desk tips over and the student crashes onto the floor. The uniformed officer does not let go. He sharply tugs the officer to the front of the classroom. She flies out of the desk and slides several feet across the floor, and then you hear the officer say, "Give me your hands," right about where he is right now. He is the only voice heard. Other students sit quietly and calmly, one of them covering his face with his hands. Some of people have come to defend the officer, many pointing out that the video is incomplete and it doesn't show what happened before, including what the student did, and how many times authorities, a teacher, and a school administrator, and finally the officer from Richland County Sheriff's Office, Ben Fields, asked her to get up. So what we're going to do now, let me just play the full video for you now with audio. Here it is.
Get out.
So what? You don't know me? Okay, you gonna come with me or am I gonna make you? Okay. Come on. I'm gonna get you up. Hands behind your back. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
There's nobody getting this shit on Snapchat.
Hey.
Unfortunately, this is getting to be, the rule and not the exception when it comes to this stuff.
I don't know the least bit about this, Jeff.
Well, you can see from the video what is happening here. There's an unruly student that needed to be removed from a classroom, and it appears, if you look at the video, that there could be some things in question as to how the student was removed. Is that excessive force? What do you think?
I can't tell. The video is so shaky. There's something going on behind this massive laptop monitor. So I can't see half of it. I don't know if she swung at him. I don't know, because someone in the chat room saying that she took a swing at him at another video.
Well, yeah, in another video there very could have been. But what you're going to see here, as you watch it, is you're going to see the officer ask her to get up, and when she doesn't, he simply removes her from her chair, and here it goes. I mean, the chair goes down.
Why were they arresting her?
And he throws her across the room.
But she could have been like trying to fly or flee or squirm. I mean, what is going on here? Why is he arresting her? Do we know that?
Well, we know that she was an unruly student and needed to be removed from the classroom. She was asked several times to be, to cooperate, and she was asked to comply, and she did not do that. So that's when the officer decided to remove her, from the classroom, and that's what happened. That's where it is.
I still need more information. We're going to have a caller, and someone might be able to explain this a little bit better to me. But if I could have seen the video clearer, focused, and find out more about what's going on. But I guess the FBI is investigating this now?
Yes, yeah, the FBI is indeed investigating. The officer has been suspended without pay, pending investigation. And if you'd like to chime in, guys, we'd like to know what you guys think about all this. The number, of course, is 323-902-6661. And we do have a caller in from the 803 area. Call you on with Jeff and Shannon. Go ahead.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Shannon.
Hi.
Hey, it's Mike from South Carolina. Now, this is, how close to your neighborhood is this?
About 45 minutes away.
Oh.
45 minutes, okay. Now, the reason I wanted to talk to you, and I'm glad that you've called in here, is because, here's a situation again in a South Carolina school with an unruly student. And, do you, looking at that video, do you think that was excessive force?
Well, let me address a couple other things first. I don't mean to take over your show, but I got to make a couple other things real clear real quick. The cop is getting paid. He's not on unpaid leave. He's still getting paid.
That's not what the report said. They said he's on unpaid leave. But if
okay, well, my sources here on the news said that he was still getting paid.
Okay, all right.
And now what came up before the video was she was supposed to have been on a cell phone.
Okay.
And the teacher asked her to put it up. She refused. She got an administrator. Administrator told her to put it up. She refused. They got a hold of the resource officer. Officer shows up, tells her to put it up. She said no. He went to take the phone away from her. And according to a third video that's supposed to be out there, she took a swing at the officer.
Okay. So with that said, and knowing what you know, again, I'll pose the question, do you think that the officer used excessive force in this situation?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's not as bad off as what they originally started screaming that that the officer actually body slammed the child. If you look at the video, he body slammed the desk while the child was in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a huge difference between a body slam and body slamming the desk of the child's in.
Well, again, I'd like to know what you guys think in the chat room, because this is something that's now making national news. And, of course, the officer is coming under question as, everything is investigated as far as excessive force. And I'm going to say something here on record right now. If you're addressed by authorities and they ask you to comply with something, whether it's tie your shoe, do jumping jacks, get out of a chair, or go to them, or drop your gun or drop your cell phone or put your hands up or whatever the hell it is they ask you to do. If you don't do that, you can expect that they will do it for you. And it's not going to be an orchestrated dance, folks. We're not watching Dancing with the Stars here. They don't rehearse, how to subdue somebody that's being a complete asshole. So if you ask me, the kid asked for it. And, gone are the days. And you and I, Shannon, were over a friend's house this past summer when we were talking about this. Gone are the days when, the teacher or the nun, as it were in this case, would take the ruler to somebody's knuckles to straighten their asses out when they weren't behaving properly. You can't administer that kind of discipline anymore. So if you need, if somebody's asking you to get up and remove yourself from a classroom and you don't do it, what else are you going to expect, Shannon?
Right. You something's going to happen because, this person has to be submissive to authority. And clearly she had no respect for anybody. That's why I'm not looking at this going, wow, this poor innocent victim. It's hard for me to know because I can't see the whole thing. I can't hear the whole thing. Part of me immediately when I first saw this video was that she deserved what she had coming to her. And I just have to learn a bit more, but she wasn't hurt, right?
No, it looks rough. If you look at the way she's treated, she's slid across the floor and all that stuff. But you know what? You and I have plenty of friends that are police officers, and you and I have been down this road before on this show as far as police brutality and complying with law enforcement. There are times when there is no doubt there are bad cops out there.
Right.
And there, are cops that take advantage of their position, and there are cases of police brutality. Right. I honestly believe this isn't one of them. And if this just shakes out this way, then shame on us, man, as a society for allowing these kids to be so defiant in our schools. What is the answer? Where do you think this goes from here? We've already got teachers beating up kids and kids beating up teachers and kids walking into guns with schools. Are we going to allow kids to take over our schools and to create so much fear so that, kids that would just want to go get an education are scared shitless to even go there? I mean, this is the kind of crap that should be removed from our classrooms.
I was going to say, the teacher's just standing there watching this. So obviously this was something that they had come to expect by watching the police deal with
That's
this girl.
That's a key part of it, is that the teacher's just standing there not involved. I think if there was a brutal situation
and not
going
one other
on,
student either.
Right. If there was like a situation going on where, the officer was beating the student up and things were getting out of hand, I'm sure that the teacher wouldn't be sitting there so complacent, as far as that goes. It's really hard to, jump on the side of, geez, this is excessive force and how dare he put his hands on a student and she's just a kid. There's a lot of people saying, oh, she's just a kid. She's just a kid. Why should she be doing that to, an innocent child like that? I'm sorry. That's not an innocent child, folks. That is an asshole of a child that's not complying with what they're asked to do. And I'm sure that child had several opportunities to, comply with law enforcement, comply with the officer before she was physically removed. She was warned, you can comply or I will remove you. Mm-hmm. Just like when the cop tells you, get your hands out of the car, put your hands up. Do what they say, for God's sakes. The more that we contest, the more that we, go against this, what do you expect to have happen? If you want to have a safe community, because the people that are screaming right now are the same people that are going to be freaked out when, unlawlessness comes into their community and they're scared shitless and trying to get the police to help. Where does it go from here?
But Hips in the chat saying if the female had been a blonde 16-year-old, this never would have happened. So there's conflicting opinions going on here. Is he still on the phone?
I'd like you to call back in. I'd like to hear more about that because you're right. I mean, there's a huge, let's call it, there's still a huge prejudice below the Mason-Dixon line in these cases. And, I know that Hip wants to get into the whole race card thing because that's where, this thing is going. They're trying to pull the race card on this, saying, well, yeah, there's a white cop again, there's a black kid, and here we go again with the white racist supremacist, beating up the black people. And I'm sorry, that kid could be black, white, Asian, Hispanic, or Indian. If you have an asshole kid like that that's asked to leave the classroom and they don't, they should have dragged them out with or without the desk. However they wanted to go, that's fine. I've got no problem with it. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see more of it because in my mind, there needs to be discipline in these classrooms, especially now, Shannon, where we're in the age of Kids bringing weapons and guns to school and all these crazy nut jobs that are walking in here, making it unsafe for our kids to get an education.
Right. I agree with you.
So
I agree with you. I mean, the teachers, the students are all just standing there. They called the police, obviously, because they can't deal with this girl. And what is going to be done when she sits there and says, basically, F you, I'm not listening to you? That's going to happen. Big shocker. I don't care who you are, how old you are.
And you know what? A lot of this stuff goes back to the parents. And I loved the lady, excuse me, I loved the lady that came on during the whole thing in Ferguson when she said, you know what, Black lives matter, but you know what, all lives matter. And it goes back to the parents that are teaching these little hoodlums to behave this way.
Big time.
Get your foot and put it up your kid's ass so that they learn a little respect and they learn a little discipline and they learn how to respect authority and be told what, do what they're told, especially if they're trying to get an education for free.
Preach it, brother.
Seriously, Shannon.
Amen. Word.
This isn't something that they're paying for. This is a free education that the taxpayers are paying for. The kids should be able to at least go in there and respect the classroom. If they have no respect for themselves, that's fine. Go be a gangster piece of shit outside of the classroom. Go do that on the street corner and go worry your parents to death. But when you're in a classroom, at least respect the other kids that are in there and give them an opportunity to learn so they can be more than your dumbass when they grow up and they're supporting your ass because you're going to be the one that's on food stamps while they get a job paying taxes to support you.
And it's everybody else's taxes that are paying for that dumbass's education while they sit there and tell everyone to F themselves.
Well, it's the kids that they're scaring the shit out of that are there trying to get an education. That's the problem.
I don't know. I'd love to see how this turns out. We'll have to talk about it next week.
We will. We will keep you informed about this story and all the other stuff going around here in the world. We always bring you the hottest stories, the coolest guests, and, of course, our live chat where we love you guys to chime in. And, again, if you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And we love the fact that you guys are able to chime in with us in the chat because that's what makes us kind of unique. We love to interact with you, and we love to hear what you have to say. And Shannon, we just have 3 minutes left, so you got to hurry up and give away a book somehow. What do you want to do? We want to ask a question, right?
Question.
All right, I got a question.
You go ahead, because we were going to have a call-in and that didn't happen. So
I have a question.
We sent out 2 books last week. We have 2 books tonight.
Okay, well, why don't you have like 1 minute to give away one book.
All right, we've got Healing the Haunted by Dr. Kenneth McCall, his remarkable encounters with ghosts, who they are, how he cures them, how he stops them from haunting places and people.
Okay. A very fitting book for the season here as we celebrate our holiday party 2015. And the question of the night, the first one to go up on our Facebook page. And again, you have to be friends with us and follow us and like us on Facebook, which you can do at Up for Discussion Live, facebook.com/Up for Discussion Live. And you guys got to be on that to win. The question is, what was I before I stripped down into this T-shirt only? Who was I trying to emulate here earlier in the show? It's a pretty easy one for you guys that have stuck around. I had a couple of props going, and Shannon referred to me as a certain. Well, Shannon, you referred to me as a certain character. Well, we'll give them either one. If they were paying attention, we'll give them either one. If they saw what was happening before this, then we'll give them a chance to come on in and win something. What do you think?
All right, so
okay with that?
The fan page guys got to go up there and post your answer.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for us tonight. We want to thank all of you for joining us here on the show. We want to remind you to follow us on Twitter. I'm Jeffrey L. Sylvia. She is Shannon Sylvia, and we are at Up for Discussion. We want to stay in touch with you guys throughout the week, as well as on Facebook, because we are both Facebook whores. We're up there constantly. We tell you what we eat, what we drink, when we tie our shoes, how we comb our hair, and what color our shirts are for the day. So make sure
we
you
have
follow
our
us
winner
there.
for the book. It's Greg O'Brien.
All right, cool. Very cool. Very cool. And, of course, you can catch this rerun and all of the great shows here on YouTube, as well as down at the bottom there, right on the player, you can hit the archives button and catch all of the great shows here as well. So on behalf of ourselves and all of the great crew here, we want to thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.